Hey there, it's Dusty once again with another story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for telling my wife I find her less attractive now that she's more attractive? What? For context, I, 32 male, and my wife, 30 female, have been together for 9 going on 10 years, married for 8. We have 4 children, starting when my wife was 20. However, our first son passed away. Sorry to hear that. So for most of our 20s, my wife was pregnant or we were raising small children. Obviously, I've always found my wife attractive. Throughout the years, her weight fluctuated and she had a farmhouse style. I'm sorry, I just never heard somebody's clothing style described as farmhouse style. I've heard farmhouse or like house decoration styling. I'm like, are you calling your wife a house? Because that's probably not a great idea either. Throughout the years, her weight fluctuated and she had a farmhouse style, like long flower dresses, etc. She also never really seemed to care about looks or clothing much. She's always been into gardening, baking, art, never was into makeup or anything. Fast forward to last year and a half, she's lost a good bit of weight, is very stylish, more form-fitting outfits, more modern style, always has a new hairstyle, and is very good with makeup. From a conventional standpoint, she is probably more attractive than before, bordering social media beauty standards. People are always stopping and complimenting her. She gets free things. If we go to the bar, people are buying her drinks. My family comments. Anyway, I brought up to her change in style and whatnot, asking her if she's been her authentic self or just trying to please others. She claims she is being authentic and that she didn't know who she was at 20, and she spent so much time being a wife and mother that she just never really found herself, but now she's finally choosing to. She asked me what the problem was, and I told her honestly I don't really like it, and I preferred her look and style before, that I actually found her more attractive before. She called me an asshole and said that if I liked her, unhealthy and depressed, that says a lot about me. That I should be happy she's finally finding herself. I get it, but at the same time, I feel like she has to understand that I wouldn't have ever dated a 10 for the reasons coming up now. So, am I the astronaut? So the reasons that are coming up now, what do you mean the reasons that are coming up now? You mean your insecurities? You mean you're too insecure to ever date a 10? So now that your wife, who you have multiple children with, like became a 10, you're like, I can't get on board. I'm sorry. You're too pretty. The OP's comment. Okay, OP has a comment here that Tony Spark just pasted in. Oh, okay. Basically responding to what I just said. Perfect. He says, no, what I'm saying is I don't like the things attached to being a 10. She was always incredibly attractive, but not having to put effort into her looks. It's off-putting to be with someone who cares about their looks. So he's feeling the pressure now. He's like, look, I don't want to have to like comb my hair or like tuck in my shirt. You're going to like, I feel out of place. I feel like the homeless guy who's walking next to a pretty woman, and people are going to start asking if I'm bothering you, if they see us together in public. You know what I mean? Like that. Like, I don't want to feel like that. Dude, what she says about spending so much of her youth being a wife and a parent and never having the time to find herself and then finally deciding to, like, parents get it, especially as many kids as they had so quickly. 4? They have 4 kids. They have 3. They have 3 kids. I thought it was 5, but yeah, they have 3. Yes, they have 4 kids, 3 actively parenting for. You can lose yourself pretty easily being a full-time parent. And most people who have kids young don't get to really explore who they are or start defining themselves until like 30. So you guys are 32 and 30. She's 30. It's like this is the beginning of the exploration for her. This is like, that's why the 30s is so much of a turning point, because you start to really uncover who you are as a person. And she's starting to do that. He's not. He's just kind of settled into who he is in the old way. You can definitely outgrow a relationship. Problem is, outgrowing a relationship with somebody you have kids with is obviously more complicated. Doesn't mean it can't happen. And it doesn't mean that those kids still can't be happy in 2 separate happy houses, rather than one miserable house, which is what you're on the way to, OP. You have to think about this and think about what comes next. If you continue shitting on this idea of who she is now and shitting on her glow up and actively speaking out against it, like, your kids are going to pick up on that. It's not going to be a happy vibe at home. And eventually that environment will do more damage to them than a split will. So you're approaching an area where if you continue down this path, there will be a fork in the road and you will end up losing. It's a Kobayashi Maru. You cannot win that. The only win here that's possible is that you realize that you are the problem. You are the weakest asshole. You're the problem here. It's your insecurity that can't get you on board with her having a glow up. It's you. This is a you problem. And you better figure it out. Get into therapy. Start talking to someone other than your wife about it, because she has every right to turn around to you and say, look, this is a you problem. I don't know. I feel like I need you up here for this, Candy Thunder. Because
you were doing great.
It's one of those things that I think we need the multiple perspectives on. It is, I just don't understand it. And I think from a female's perspective here, if this were reversed and if it was the dude who had a glow up,
we had that story.
Would a wife respond the same way?
About a month ago.
I don't remember. Hop on up, ladies and gents, Candy Thunder.
You just read and you don't remember.
That's right. My brain doesn't register anything at all. I'm just kidding.
So we did have that story. The wife married someone she thought was safe and wouldn't cheat on her, and then he got healthier and worked out, and she hated it. So this is kind of the opposite thing, but I'll just go with what I do know, because I don't understand this guy's behavior. If I lost weight and felt better about myself, you would cheer me on because I was happier.
Yeah.
If I came out of, like she said that she was depressed,
depressed and unhealthy.
And she came out of that, pulled herself out of that. You know, we don't know the path that she took to do that, but now she's happy. Now she's feeling herself. She feels good. And that is such a empowering feeling, to walk out into the world and feel very good about yourself. And I don't understand why a spouse would want to take that away. That's your partner. Like, that's the person that cheers you on. And she's like, damn, I finally feel like a woman. I finally feel good in my skin. I'm not just a mom. Like, I've got stuff going for me. I'm enjoying doing my hair. I enjoy doing my makeup. And like, this guy, because you know what? When I put on makeup, I put it on for myself. Like, I do what I want to do to feel good about myself. If I decide to fix my hair and do my makeup, that is for me. That's because of how I want to go out into the world. And sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do. But
I'm not going to lie. The only reason I put pants on is because of you.
I can't imagine. This is, to me, is like a form of control, because I can't imagine you wanting to take that from me. I can't imagine you wanting to make me feel less than, because that's his goal, right? To make her feel less than. So she'll fit back in that box that he doesn't have anything to fear. So everything can go back to normal. Guess what? People change. And it's your job as a partner to evolve with them. Your relationship in your 20s, our relationship in our 20s, well, you were 30 when we met, but
gasp, clutch as pearls,
was much different than it is right now. And we have both changed.
Yeah.
And you figure out a way to do that together. And instead, he just wants her to be who she is and never change and be this person. And no, like, you don't get to make that. You don't get to say.
Change is scary, right?
Right.
Like, change is scary. We can recognize that. And if your partner is creating a change, like, yeah, you have to push through that fear of how things are going to change. Change creates change. But is the control that he's worried about, like, you know, I'm worried that she's not going to be cooking my dinner and doing all the shit I need her to do in her role as mom and wife. If she's changing the way she looks, she might be changing the way she acts too.
Yeah, he said he didn't like that she took an hour to get ready. That was one of his biggest. He wants a woman that gets out of bed and she's just ready to go. Bitch, please.
Okay.
I'm like, nobody. Sometimes I'm ready in 10 minutes. Sometimes it takes me 3 hours.
You're not ready in 10 minutes if you're already 100% ready and all we have to do is go get in the damn car.
Hey, shh. Sometimes I leave the house within 10 minutes.
And then we come back. If you were leaving the house that quick, you forgot something and we're just doing a loop and coming right back. Guarantee it.
That's accurate.
And girl time, it's 10 minutes. Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll buy that.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
But you don't sit there and bitch at me. I mean, you might look at your watch and be like,
no, I gave up on that a long time ago. And also the fact that it happened when I was trying to propose to you was symbolic, right? It was like, well, your dad said this too. He's like,
you knew what you were getting into.
You know what you're getting into. I'm like, yes, sir. Worth it.
I'm glad that you're not a jealous man. You're not a man that wants to, you know, in the words of Rachel Green, I think this is very fitting. How do you expect me to grow if you won't let me blow? Be your own win keeper, Rachel. So that's what I say to this woman. Be your own win keeper.
I don't know that I understand the blow part.
It's just part of the show.
I understand.
People who watch it will get it. People who know Friends will know.
I know Friends, but I don't